Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leather Supply. Let's make a simple, wet-formed leather box. Now this video aimed a little bit more towards the new folks, because once we get a feel for wet forming, we can do so much with it. But we're just going to start simple, get a feel for it. All right, so anything I use in this video, weaverleathersupply.com, or check below. We've got links going to take you straight to the website. Also, if you want to know when our videos release, just click your notifications. You'll know exactly when these come out. So let's step over to our pattern table, get a look at our pattern. This is going to look like a complicated pattern. It really isn't. It's a bunch of straight lines and simple dimensions. So we'll look at what we're doing first off, then we'll jump over to our digital pick. So on our pattern, we've got a 4" by 4" base. Once we get the hang of this, we can make this any dimension we want. But let's go with 4 by 4, and we're going to bring it up 4 inches, okay? So our pattern basically is going to fold up. We've got a little extra tab here. So 4 by 4, extra inch, that's going to bend over. That tab is going to come around to right there. That'll bend over. And there we are. That tab will come around and that'll bend over. So nothing difficult there by any means. So let's jump over to our digital pick of our main body. We've got our 4 by 4" base. On each of our 4 tabs, walls, risers, whatever we want to call those, technically they're 4 by 5 inches because we're going to add an extra inch at the top, bend back and do a cool little cut on that. So on this tab, our pointed tab, we're going to come out 3 1/4 inches. From the end of that, we're going to back up 1 inch, punch a hole right there. Then on this tab, in our 4 by 4" section, we're going to center a hole, 2 inches, 2 inches. This will fold around. We'll connect those two with a concho. That's going to look nice. All right. On our tab, we're going to do a cool little cut right here. Super easy to do, but great place to make this your own. So on our tab, let's jump over to our digital pick, then we'll come back. Simple dimension here as well. We've got a 1" by 4" box to work with. We're going to make 2 circular cuts, 1 1/2 inch. Then we're just going to add a point to that. Now, great place to make this your own. We can go so many ways. We're going to go with an old school, kind of a Western looking design, but we could go with a scalloped edge. We could leave it right where it is, or we could do a combination of round end and English punch. I'm rolling, but let's do this. This is super easy to do if we want to get creative. So we've got a 1" by 4" piece of poster board. I'm going to scribe that right in the middle. Let's fold that over. Now, from the outside edge towards the bend, it doesn't matter what cut we make. In fact, I'm just going to cut one by hand. There we go. Okay. When we open that up, perfectly symmetrical. In fact, that's not a bad shape right there. The point is, super easy to get creative and make this our own. I think we've got a feel for what we're doing. Let's step over to our main table, start cutting some leather. One more point that just makes the whole thing easier and more consistent. We don't have to mark, measure, and cut all 4 bend backs. How about we just make 1? Then we can lay that in, trace it. Well, easier, yes, but now every point very consistent. And on that same note, we can do that with our pattern. We only have to cut 1. We'll trace this in. Then we can simply turn that, trace in that cutout. Again, just makes everything very easy. So on our leather, let's go with a 4 to 5 ounce natural veg tan. This is a single shoulder. Great buy for us crafters. It's a smaller piece of leather, but good quality, very affordable piece of leather. And again, we're going to go with a 4 to 5 ounce. This is considered a pouch weight, which means when we wet form this, we're going to get very clean corners. And a good point on that, it looks like we've got all kinds of bends on this. Actually, when we wet form this, every one of these is going to fall into place. They're almost self-explanatory. All right, so finally, let's start cutting some leather. I'm going to lay this in best I can. Good. Now, I would love to go with a pin on this. Easier for me to see, easier for the camera to see. But we're not going to dye this. We're going to leave this natural. So let's go with one of our awls and let's scribe in. Okay, we're scribed. Before we move this, let's go ahead and mark for our holes. All right, we've got that. Now, let's work around and trace in our cutout. We've got that. Now I almost want to go with pen because that is tough to see, but we're going to leave it right where it is. Now, when we're cutting this out, first off, our steel square, great way to go. And I would suggest the non-slip tape. We sell this with a tape on it. Now, when we cut, I'd like to cut away from our points instead of trying to cut in. So let's make our first cut. We're going to cut this out, but we're not going to cut out our design just yet. When we start getting over to this edge, that's going to be hard to cut from the point out. So let's just do this. We're going to waste a little bit of leather, but makes the whole thing easier. Let's just overcut this, then we can turn it around as we cut. Now, I almost feel like I want to apologize. We should have gone with ink, and we absolutely can. If we cut inside of our ink line, we're actually going to get a more accurate size. But the downside, yeah, there's always a downside. When we use pen, it's going to leave a little extra ink here and there. If we rub our hand across that or a tool, that's going to streak. There's nothing that's going to take that out. All right, so next up, let's round off our points. We're going to go with a corner knife, one of the best items Weaver has ever added. We've got these in 6 sizes. Now, if we don't have a corner knife, or let me say this, if we don't yet have a corner knife, there's a way around it. We can look at that. But on our points here, we're going to go with the 25 millimeter. Let's just scoot that down. Yeah, there we go. Actually, very nice touch. And that is easy enough, okay? So we don't have a corner knife. Let's just take whatever we've got. Do we have a dye bottle, glue bottle, deglazer? In fact, there's our point right there. We can draw that in, and let's make a series of smaller cuts. Now, it's not perfect, but it's not bad either. Okay, next up, let's go with a 40 millimeter corner knife. Now we're going to make our cutouts right here. So what we'll do, again, sorry, hard to see, but right here, I'm going to drop in our 40 millimeter, which is just a hair over 1.5 inches wide. I'll make a cut on both sides. Then I'm going to come in with my square, cut from the end of that cut out. And there we are. You know what? Thus far, nothing difficult at all. We're cut. Let's go punch some holes. We're going to use Conchos to secure our box together, and I love these. That's actually called a berry concho. It's in the shape of a berry, but old school, very Western. Now on these, we have multiple sizes, 2 finishes. We're going to go with the antique nickel 1 inch. Now the reason I bring that up now is because on the back, we've got a screw post. We need a little bit larger hole. So on our revolving punch, and this is one of the best out there in my opinion for the money, that is a solid, sturdy tool. But right here, I've got that marked because I have 10 of these for teaching classes. This one's mine. Yeah, this one's mine. Anyway, so right up here at the very largest tube, we can get that post to force through there. Yeah, it's not bad. The point is we need a little bit larger hole. But here's a problem. So right here, we'll never be able to get to that hole. We just don't have enough throat on our revolving. So we're going to jump over to what's called a drive punch. Well, now we need a mallet. That's my all-time favorite, the 11-ounce rawhide. But we also need something to punch into so we don't trash our tools. This is our poly board, and I've got this on our marble. But then right here, this is slick. So I've got just a piece of scrap leather there so that this doesn't slide around. All right, so we're going to go with a 3/16 inch hole. It's just a little bit larger than that. It's going to be perfect for our conchos. So we need 8 holes. And again, not difficult, but let's see how this is going to fit. Perfect. There we go. All right, let's step back over to our main table, get our leather wet. We can always use one of our dressing sponges to add water to our leather. And I love these. It's a good sponge. In fact, I tend to cut these down, makes them go a little bit further. But it's going to be hard to get water consistent on our piece, and it's going to take a little time. We're simply going to dip this in our water, but that's going to get a lot of water in our leather. So what we'll do is we'll dip it, let it sit for about half an hour, then we'll start to wet form it. Because when we wet our leather, and that's in just for 4, maybe 5 seconds, there we go, becomes very pliable. In fact, right there, we can make a very nice bend. And if we leave that right there, it's going to dry into exactly that shape. But that's a little too much water. It's a little too flimsy. So again, we'll let that sit, let some of that excess moisture wick out. So let's get our leather wet. Wet forming requires only 2 things, water and our thumbs. This looks good. So let's give this about a half hour. We'll check on it, see where we are. We've given this a little more than half an hour. Very nice. I can feel it. It's not flimsy, but it's still pliable. A little bit of the body has come back. So now, like I said, all of these fold lines are going to fall into place. Well, let's start on the top of our sides, on our small cutout here. Well, right there, there's our bend. We can take our square. Now I'm going to go smooth side down because our leather at this point, very impressionable. So let's be careful when we're using tools so we don't ding or leave a mark. But I can lay that in right to that edge. Yeah, now let's just form that over. Yeah, we're going to have the flesh side out along the top. Good, we've got that. Now let's come in with our thumb and let's press down. Okay, we've got that down. Let's come back with our square and let's just add a little bit of pressure. Well, that's easy enough. Okay, to do the other 3 edges. Those are set. Next up, let's flip this over because now here's our next line. Let's bend that over. And let's be careful here, but let's press. There we are. Okay, let's turn that out. Same thing right here. We've got those 4 pieces done. Okay, next up, our tabs. We're going from that bend to that line, easy enough. And very easy to line up, okay? Now we could put our screws in or our conchos in at this point, but really, I'm just going to let this sit right here. I've got just a couple of boxes for rivets. And there we are. Okay, we're going to need a lot of dry time here. So let's give this, at the very least, overnight, but preferably 24 hours. We're not yet to 24 hours. We're pretty close. And our box is dry, but notice how square that is. Very cool. All right, let's knock some Conchos into this. We're done. Typically, when I'm working with Chicago screws or Conchos, I'd like to add a little dab of white glue in there, just so that the screw doesn't work out over time with use. But in this situation, not really an issue. But what can be a problem? From time to time, we've got a much longer post, or the screw, and this happens a lot. The screw won't go all the way down in. So what's going to happen is that's going to be loose. What we can do, let's just make a small donut. We can put that on the inside. That'll take up some real estate, make sure this is tight. But in this situation, not an issue. And right there, very nice. Our holes line right up. So what I'm going to do is just screw this in, a little hard to see. There we go. Once we get that screw started, we can use a screwdriver if we want to, but at the same time, it's just as easy to tighten down the Concho. Yeah, very cool. I'm going to do the same thing on the other 3 sides. Well, what a very cool little box. Let's get a better look. Go over a couple of notes here. We've got a simple, fun, clean project. Very nice. So many ways we can make this our own. Well, right off the bat, on our sides, we made this in a project video a long time ago. It's a no hardware wet formed pouch. But right here, we could always bring tabs. We could overlay those. We could stamp. We can carve, die, antique, top coat. We could add spots or some additional hardware. So many ways to go to make this our own. But now that we've got a feel for how to make this, we can make this box any shape. We could even add a flap. But the biggest point here, wet forming leather, 2 things are needed: our thumbs and some water. We've got a simple, fun, useful leather project that gives us a feel for wet forming. And once we get a feel for it, unlimited possibilities. In fact, I think that's one of my favorite leathercraft techniques. But make this box your own, have a great time doing it, and I bet it's going to be beautiful. Good luck with your projects.